Hello, everybody. This is Benny Hills back with another Modern Cube draft. And I actually do have one question about what people want. So, I've been doing a lot of Modern Cube drafts recently because I think it's a sweet format and I like it a lot. But is that like, would people prefer me to do other limited formats or like constructed? Like, would it be better if I just mix up the formats consistently, or when there's something like this, make these videos consistently? So, I do think I'll do Vintage Cube. Like, when that's out, I'm just going to do that. Um, and when no cube like this is out, I'll mix up constructed formats. But when there is something like this that's not quite as cool as Vintage Cube, but still like has a lot of interesting things, um, I guess yeah. What do people want in that situation? As for this pack, it's pretty bad honestly. I think Dissolve and Thoughtseize are the two cards that most catch my eye. There's no particularly good aggro creatures. There's no like great green ramp. I mean, you could take Night of the Reliquary, but I think I'm gonna take Thoughtseize. It's a more unique effect than Dissolve, and it's just good in a lot of different decks. Okay, this pack is much better. There's four blue cards that are all pretty good. I'm not a huge fan of Sea Dasher Octopus. It's good in the blue devotion decks, but I mean I guess it's fine even if you're not mutating it. But I think Narset is probably a bit better than that. But I'm actually well. Let's see. If we wanted to do like stick with black, Croxa and Geralf's Messenger are both reasonable options. They're also both they sort of commit us to something. Like Geralf's Messenger is only good in mono black. It is very good in mono black, but that's a little early to take something like that. Croxa is also like I mean it's two colors, but it's very good, and it pairs very well with things like Thoughtseize. Hmm. I think I'm actually leaning towards the Croxa slightly. Like this is good in Grixis, which is a place where we could end up, and it's also I mean just black red can be good if you have enough answers to Planeswalkers. So I'll take the Croxa here. Ooh, okay. I think we just have to take the ooh. Dragonlord Silumgar is so good, but Murderous Rider is also so good. That's very close. Silumgar is better, but I mean it requires us to go into a third color. I mean we're not committed to red at all, but that is a tough choice. Having answers to Planeswalkers is so good, and these are both answers. There's also Dreadbore, I guess. Hmm. Okay, I think I'm gonna take the Murderous Rider and try and wheel Dreadbore. Yeah, I mean, if you have, like, if you have ways to deal with Planeswalkers and just, like, a little bit of card advantage, that can get there, and yeah, I think this is what we're gonna go with. So really, really hoping this Dreadbore comes around, both because it would be great for our deck and because it would signal that Rakdos is open. We'll go with the Murderous Rider over the Silumgar there. That is a really close pick, though. Okay, so here, there's a Muldrifter if we wanted to go into Grixis. But again, I think I'm going to stay on the black-red thing for a bit and take Dragon Skull Summit here. This is great fixing and also helps cut these colors. Black looks moderately open. White is the most open pack color based on this pack with all this stuff. So we'll see. I mean, again, like it's possible we should just be taking these blue cards, but I just have done blue so often, and I also do think that like this can be a really good archetype if you get the cards for it, and taking Dragon Skull Summon will help us to cut it. Okay, in this pack we have Phoenix of Ash is pretty good, but we already have Croxa, and so I don't really there's like sort of overlap. We could just take a Chandra, which is pretty good in this sort of deck. Like you flashing back Thoughtseize and removal spells is nice. There's also Dismember, but I kind of think I like Chandra better than Dismember here. We're gonna be able to get good removal. These colors can kill things. That's not the issue. But the issue is like card advantage, especially repeatable card advantage, and Chandra is a good source of that, especially if you have the removal spells to protect her. So we'll take this. All right, we have this pack is making red look very open. There's a couple burns or like two burn spells that are solid removal spells, also Fatal Push. Avalanche Riders is decent because I mean it destroys lands and I mean it's just a good card. That's a form of interaction that there's not a ton of in this format. We could also just take a Walking Ballista if we wanted to, or a Mimic Vat. Mimic Vat with Croxa is sort of fun. Um, yeah, you can just make a copy of it in their draw step every turn if they have no cards, and then they can't really do anything. Should we just take the Fatal Push, though? I think I am going to take Avalanche Riders. I think this is just, again, like, removal is the easiest thing for this color combination to find, and so I'm not going to prioritize taking removal spells. We'll be able to get them later. Ooh, okay, well, Bone Crusher Giant and Dreadhorde Arcanist. Dreadhorde Arcanist could actually be really cool. It's good with Thoughtseize, Fatal Push. We could pick up some burn spells, but I think we should just go with the Obnix list here. I mean, Bone Crusher Giant is so, so good, but Planeswalkers are really good too, and especially Planeswalkers that draw cards. This, I mean, I've said it before, I'll keep saying it. You want things that are, like, hard for your deck to do, and so drawing cards isn't necessarily the strong suit of Rakdos. So, when we can get something like this, it's pretty good. Also, there is Electrolyze. Like, we could definitely just be Grixis, but I kind of want to do this, and I think it will be good. So, we'll take Obnix list here. Ooh, okay. Hour of Promise is interesting, and so is Extinction Event. Which one of these two do we want more? So this, you can, like, flashback a Thoughtseize and a removal spell for 3 mana, potentially, which is really nice. And then you can also just win the game if you get up high enough. We actually don't have many instants and sorceries right now. Only Thoughtseize. I think we should just take the Extinction Event. This is really, really good removal. It's like, I mean, I've been saying we don't want to prioritize removal, which is true, but this is, like, some of the best removal. The fact that it exiles is very relevant, and it's just a great... wait. Oh, we can't flash it back with this, which is a little annoying, but I think still that's a good pick for us. Here we'll go with Shambling Vent. Oh, is this the... I hope this wasn't the Dreadbore pack. But we'll go with Shambling Vent. I could definitely imagine this being a deck that wants to splash for Lingering Souls, and, like, Char is just not that exciting. I mean, we could take Sorcerer's Spyglass as another way to deal with Planeswalkers, but I think I would rather the Shambling Vent. Oh, this was the pack that had it. That's a bummer. Well, this doesn't do too much for us. We can bring back, like, Kroxa, but that's not very impressive. White does look pretty open here. We could also just take Narset. I will take the Narset, I think. None of these other cards are particularly inspiring, and if we get the fixing, then that could be good. Do we want... Is this an Experimental Frenzy deck? Probably not. I think I'm just going to take Rekindling Phoenix. This is just a pretty solid threat for this sort of deck. Thought Scour would also be pretty good for fueling Kroxa and Chandra, but I think I would rather take the Phoenix here. Man, I can't believe someone took our Dreadbore. We'll take Embereth Shieldbreaker. Unmaster is actually potentially interesting. We could end up in Jund. Both of the red burn spells came back. I think Roast is a little bit better. Wow, last pick Electrolyze. Okay. That is pretty crazy. Well, we'll see. This isn't the best start ever, but it has some tools. If we got the Dreadbore back, I would feel very good about things. But if there's someone else playing Rakdos, like, that's... no one drafts Rakdos. That's weird that someone else is doing that, and not good. Because it means they'll be taking stuff like Blood Crypt or other, like, multicolored cards that we would want. So, some solid options here. We could just take a Lava Claw Reaches, or we could take a Chandra Flame Color. Chandra's pretty good. I think I am going to go with the Chandra here. It's just, again, like, card draw is hard to come by, and, like, I would love Lava Claw Reaches, but I guess, well, which one of these is more likely to wheel? I would normally say Lava Claw, but since someone already took Dreadbore, then they will be definitely looking for stuff like this. Is there any chance Chandra comes around? Seems a little unlikely. Right now we have 10 spells that we really want to play. I think we should take the Lava Claw Reaches here. Manlands are just so good, and fixing is good, and we have fairly heavy requirements in black and red. So we'll go with this, and really hope to wheel the Chandra, but if it doesn't, that's okay. Alright, here we could go with Zealous Conscripts or Kalitas, pretty much. I think those are the best options. Kalitas is very, very good in a lot of matchups. I mean, when you have a lot of removal, it becomes very good, and which we do have. I think I'm gonna go with this over the Zealous. Like, I guess this does also open us up to Kiki Jiki, but I think Zealous, or I think Kalitas is just a little bit better, or Kalitas. Not actually sure how that's pronounced. Ooh, okay. I think we just take the Rakdos' return here. I would love to be able to wheel this and take something like a Lava Coil, or maybe even, no, probably not Lurrus, but um, maybe even City of Brass. But we should just take this since it could get taken, and this card is very good. The fact that this can kill Planeswalker and take out their hand is very strong. Oh wow, we could just go back to back of this effect. I think that is what we're doing. None of these other cards are great. I mean, Kitesail Freebooter is okay, but I like Mind Shatter a lot, actually. Inquisition, Forked Bolt, Abbot of Carol Keep. I think we should just go with the Inquisition here. We do have a decent amount of discard now, but like what we basically the way we want games to go is we have removal for their threats, discard for their hand, and then like stick a Planeswalker or a creature like Kalitas or Rekindling Phoenix that can win the game on its own. And Inquisition plays very well with that plan. It would be sort of fun if we could make Dreadhorde Arcanist work. I mean, we already passed it in the last pack, but like with Thoughtseize, Inquisition, Forked Bolt, stuff like that, that's pretty good. Okay, we're taking Nicol Bolas here. I mean, well, ooh, actually, Dark Confidant is very good. Actually, yeah, I think I would prefer Dark Confidant over Nicol Bolas. Thoughtseize and Inquisition into Dark Confidant is really good, and our curve is actually surprisingly low, given that like a lot of our top end are these two cards and Kroxa, which all have very low mana costs. So I think Dark Confidant could be really, really good in this deck. We don't have a ton of creatures, so it could become like a magnet for removal to some extent, but I still think it's pretty good. Ooh, Kolaghan's Command. That is awesome. This card is just so good. Um, and this deck seems like it's pretty well built to use it because we have stuff like Murderous Rider and Avalanche Riders that we can rebuy from the graveyard. And yeah, I'm just really, really happy to get this card. Do we want the Sacred Foundry, or would we rather just take something like a Burst Lightning or a Grim Lavamancer? I think we want our graveyard to be used for Kroxa, so I don't think I'm going to go with a Lavamancer. We'll just take a Burst Lightning as like a cheap removal spell that also scales fairly well. It's good with Dark Confidant too, because it can be like a 5-mana play that destroys something pretty big that still only deals 1 damage to you off the flip. Niv Mizzet is my one true love, but this is not the time for it. Nice! Okay. This is not good with Dark Confidant, but it's a great top-end card. Very, very happy to get this on the wheel. Alright. That's a late Goblin Guide. Mono Red is probably pretty open, but we're not switching at this point. We'll just take a Dismissive Pyromancer, which I actually do think is pretty good. It might not make the cut, but it's like, it can filter your draw. It won't be card advantage, but like, filtering your draw can be really nice. You can like pitch Kroxa into the graveyard and then bring it back, and it also is a decent removal spell. Is Lurrus good? We could get back Dark Confidant, Embereth Shieldbreaker. I mean, you can keep on recurring Dismissive Pyromancer, which is sort of cool. There's also Beaumont Courier, but I don't think that's really great for us, so we'll go with a Lurrus. It's not even completely impossible that we play it. Actually, it's pretty impossible. The fact that we couldn't even play Murderous Rider, I think, pushes it over the edge. A couple Planeswalkers that we could only play off a splash. I don't think we're splashing either of those things, but honestly, I think I would rather take Xenagos here. Searing Blaze is just not great for us, I think. Double red isn't great, and we have like a lot of burn like that. So I'll take Xenagos in case we can make the mana work. Alright, I'll take an Abbot here, I think, over the Shieldred. Shieldred's just a little expensive, and we have no ramp and like a fairly low curve. We want to play Dark Confidant. I just think that's a bit better for us. Sure, Winota, Karizev, okay. I guess Abbott can start here. Okay, so the Eldest Reborn is pretty good. PNLR is fine, but I think we should just take the Blood Crypt here. We already have 21 playables. Like our colors are open. We can cut a lot of these for sure, but I think this is just the best pick by a decent amount here. Glint Sleeve Siphoner is also pretty solid, but we'll take this. Ooh, Chandra is great. Very, very happy to get this. It pairs super well with this Chandra. Now we have 3 Chandras, which is sort of cool. And this is the best by a lot. It's just so good. With this Chandra, you can really get to ultimate very quickly with Chandra Torch of Defiance. Like, you play this on turn 3, turn 4 Chandra, and then 0 this to put a loyalty on it. She goes to 5. Plus her, she goes to 6. And then on turn 5, 0 the Chandra again, she goes to 7, and you can go ultimate. So 1 turn after you play her, she immediately ultimates. That's like one of the best cards we could have gotten. Okay, we have Disfigure and Pia Nalar are solid threats. Also, Karn is decent, but I think we should go with the Triome here. This is a mountain and a swamp, so it's a dual land we can fetch with Bloodstained Mire. And also adds white, so that still like keeps potentially the option of Lingering Souls open if we do open that. Well, there's a Sublime Epiphany. I wish we could play that. This pack is terrible for us. There's no black cards, and like only like no red cards that we're interested in. What do we take? I guess we take Bloodbraid Elf. I don't really think this is a Everflowing Chalice deck. Like, you want Everflowing Chalice in decks that have like not real plays until turn 4 and stuff. But we have plays that we want to make on turn 2. So yeah, I think we'll take this in case we somehow get really good green mana in the end. Because this would be really good. I guess it's bad with our 2 discard spells, but it's pretty good overall. I think this is the right pick. Okay, I think here we should just take the Polluted Delta. Ooh, actually, Never Return is very good. But we have so many playables already. I guess we're actually a little light on answers to Planeswalkers. We only have Murderous Rider. But I still think we should take the Polluted Delta here. This might wheel. People really don't respect this card. And just the fixing is so nice. Yeah, we have to make tons of cuts. Yeah, I think this is the right pick. So this is a Swamp Forest Island. It doesn't help us. But Phyrexian Arena is actually great. I'm very, very happy to get this. It's similar to Dark Confidant, but it's harder to interact with, and it gives us that source of repeatable card advantage that we want. So we can take that, cut Luris, cut Rekindling Phoenix. Rabble Master is pretty good. I think that's the pick here over something like Amizium Mortars. Although, actually, Mortars is pretty solid as well. And, like, we could definitely overload it, which is really good value. There's also a Johnny Vengeant. How's our White Splash? 1, 2, 3, 4 free sources. I actually think I like that. Yeah, I think I'm going to take a Johnny here. It's just like, I think having a lot of Planeswalkers is really nice in a deck that has a lot of removal, and a Johnny protects itself very well and is just a great card. Okay, none of this looks particularly appealing. I think we go with Storm's Wrath for the board. Find Finality. We can't cast Finality, so we would just be returning 2 creatures. That's not great, so I think we'll just take a Pia Nalar. This is really good in matchups against like mono red or mono white, where just having some bodies to play to the board is nice. Is this good at all for us? I don't think so. I guess I'll take Duplicant. Yeah, I don't think any of these are really making the cut. Ooh, Pia Nalar is actually good. Or Pia and Kira Nalar. This is a card that I am happy to play. Okay, so we have to make a lot of cuts here. Whatever. Hero. We're not playing any of these. Kaya's Guile is actually pretty good. I think we probably will play that. Okay, land, whatever. Oh, last pick Rabble Master is actually really nice. We didn't get the Never Return back, so that's a bummer, but I think it's okay. We have tons of playables. I think we're going to move Avalanche Riders to the board here. I do think it's pretty good, but like we just ended up with so many cards that we want to play. Shield Breakers is worse than Kolaghan's Command. Dismissive Pyromancer is just a little bit underpowered. Let's see, so this is 22. Okay, so actually we can play one more card. So is the White Splash worth it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, if we play 1 Plains and we have 5 white sources, I think that's pretty solid. And these are both good cards. What's the last ad? I think it's between Pyromancer, Pia Nalar. I do think the Rabble Master is worth playing. Maybe it is just a Pyromancer. It helps the curve a lot, and it fuels the graveyard. Yeah, I think this is solid. And then just assessing the Dark Confidant risk. Um, let's see, we have 5. So our average mana cost is a little bit under 3. And with the land that cuts it down to like a little over 1.5. So that's how much we're taking on average with Dark Confidant. I think that's okay, especially because we have a lot of ways to kill our own Dark Confidant if we need to. So yeah, I think we'll run it like this. 1 plains, 5 of each of those. So that would give us, let's see, we have 3, 4, 5 duals, so that's 10 of each color. 10 red, 11 black. That seems solid. I think that's good enough. And I do want a little bit more black because we have these, like, discard into Dark Confidant is the start we really want to maximize. Sweet. Okay, I'm pretty excited to see how this deck plays. I haven't built a deck like this in this format, so excited to see how it plays out. We also have a really good sideboard. Like, we can, against greedy mana bases, we have this. Against aggro, we have this. Against control, we can just side into it being a little bit more aggressive. Storm's Wrath is good in some matchups, so is Rekindling Phoenix. Or just being a lifelink dude that can sometimes give you value could be nice, so pretty excited to see how this one plays out. I'll see you in the first round. Alright, here we are in round 1. We rolled a 6, so that's a great start. We're on the play. We have a sketchy hand. We really, really need to hit 1 more land at least, and really more than that. We have 15 lands out of 33 cards in our deck. If we miss our 3rd land drop, we're not just dead, but it's not good. Chandra is nice for the Johnny. Oh man, I'm gonna risk it. I think we need to draw lands for sure, but I think like with 2 lands in hand, that's fine. We can afford to miss our 3rd land drop for 1 or 2 turns. And if we do draw a couple lands, then this hand is amazing. Well, that is not exactly what we had in mind. I do like to see Mountain, though. I think this deck will be pretty good against red decks. Ooh, blue-red. Okay, not as good against blue decks. Come on, land. Bummer. Okay, well, we'll play our card that we can play, but now we're very, very behind. Against a blue deck, like, we really need to be establishing Planeswalkers before they develop their mana and start holding up counterspells and stuff. Collective Defiance, huh? Alright. Land. Yes, thank you. Okay, I'm just gonna jam Chandra here. If they counter her, they counter her. We sort of want to just trade cards. Like, we have a stacked hand, so just trading off resources is fine. Looks like they do have Censor, Negate. Okay. Fueling that Croxa. So, obviously, we would love to see 1 more land so we could jam Pia, but we'll see. Plains. Wow, a lot of colors going on over there. Ancestral Vision. That is bad. Okay, well, not the land that I had in mind, but it is nice that opens up Johnny. Okay, no land is good. Land? Ooh, Dark Confidant. I think we should play Pia Nalar here. Pia and Kira Nalar. Reason being, like, a Johnny just doesn't do that much. We just plus, and the plus doesn't do anything. Dark Confidant is pretty easy for them to kill. They likely have a burn spell of some sort. So I just think this is the best line. No removal spell or anything end of turn, so we can start beating down a little bit. There's their 5th land. Deafening Clarion. Alright, come on, land. If we can resolve Ob Nixilis, that would be amazing. Oh. Alright, well, now we'll go with the Johnny. Yeah, if we had an Ob Nixilis here, we would be very far ahead. And now we're probably slightly behind, but it's close. The Ancestral will be annoying. We do have Rakdos' Return to hit their hand down, but we need to draw some lands. Glorybringer. Oh my gosh. Alright, well, come on, land. If we could go land Ob Nixilis, kill your Glorybringer, that would be ideal. We are quite behind, though, right now. Land. Yes, okay. Ob Nixilis. This is our third Planeswalker of the game, and we have another one coming up soon. Destroy target creature. So, this is susceptible to burn now. It's pretty likely to get burned out, but that's okay. I actually think the most important card on our hand is this Rakdos' Return. This is how we're going to really, like, the way that this game ends with us winning is, like, we keep on trading. They have a couple cards. They, like, tap out to deal with a big Planeswalker, and then we can take out the rest of their hand and take over with Kroxa. Burn spell. 4 mana. I really hope, like, Avalanche Riders would be the worst thing by a lot here. I really hope they have to use a burn spell in this, instead of a hasty attacker. Face Fetters. Okay, that is fine. Abbot of Carol Keep. Do we want... I think I actually want to play that. We could go return for 3. But I think I'm going to go Abbot here. This could hit us a land, and then if we don't hit a land, we can just go Dark Confidant. Nice. That was perfect. So we go that and this. Now, they'll probably kill the Dark Confidant, but maybe not. This is a case... Oh, yeah, it looks like they have a burn spell here. Oh, non-electrolyze, please. Abrade, sure. So if one more card goes to the graveyard, we can escape Kroxa. Wow, okay. Jace is scary. We have Rakdos' Return. We'll see what they go with here. They're brainstorming. So, the Abbot might be able to kill it. Okay, that's a bummer that they played a blue source. Now they could have a counterspell for our Rakdos' Return. Okay, they do that. So if they don't have a counterspell, we can kill their Jace and take out their entire hand, which would be absolutely amazing. So Rakdos' Return your Jace. And I'm just going to do it for 3 to play around, like, Spell Pierce or anything like that. I guess there's also no incentive to do more. So if this resolves, I really like our position. Pact of Negation. That is a bummer. Now we're very far behind. They're going to untap with a Jace. I mean, we have answers to it, but I guess, yeah, I mean, if they don't have a counterspell, they probably don't have another counterspell. In which case, we can hopefully stick Chandra, and Chandra can kill Jace. That was a big Pact of Negation there, though. If Rakdos' Return had resolved, the game would just end. They couldn't beat that. So we can go for Murderous Rider, and then if that doesn't work, then hit Jace with Lava Claw Reaches. Okay, that's pretty good. I think I'm just going to go for the Chandra, though. If they have a counterspell, like, Spell Pierce would be devastating, but hopefully they don't have it. Nice. Okay, so we will plus to make 2/3/1s and send them both at Jace in case they have a burn spell. Electrolyze would hurt a lot. Attack with all creatures at Jace. Does this work? Nice. Okay, looks like it is. Beautiful. So now we have like yeah, we're way ahead now. We have a 6 mana Planeswalker with 5 loyalty. We have a good hand of flexible cards. We have a Kroxa we can escape next turn. They can animate their Wandering Fumarole and hit our Chandra down to 1. Oh, bummer. Okay, never mind. We just lose. That sucks. So they tap down our land. And then, yeah. Oh, man. So, almost definitely they have Kiki Jiki here. I mean, it's possible they don't, and they're just doing this so that the Wandering Fumarole... Okay, they got us. Well, good to know about that. Now that we do know about that, we can play around it a lot better. That's tough, though. I really thought we were making a nice comeback there. But but they just got the win out of nowhere, so hopefully we can prevent that going forward. Do we have any instant speed burn in our sideboard? We don't. So we have Burst Lightning, Rakdos' or Kolaghan's Command, Kaya's Guile, Murderous Rider. We have some answers. Extinction Event seems pretty weak. I think I would slightly rather Avalanche Riders. Rekindling Phoenix seems okay. Is there any card that we don't want? Kalidas is only okay. Roche seems pretty bad. I guess we bring in the Phoenix. Do we want, like, these dudes? This gives us a little bit more of an aggressive slant. But I don't think we do. Kalidas is a little bit weak, I think. Yeah, we can probably cut that. It's very bad against Glorybringer. So I'll just bring in Karizev as a way to pressure Planeswalkers a bit. Yeah, I think this seems good. We'll run it like this. Alright, here we are for game 2. We're on the play again. And, yeah, we can't keep a one-lander. Alright, we'll keep this. It does hurt to be on a mulligan in this matchup, but this is a pretty good hand. So I think we're going to put back one of the lands. Yeah, I'll put back a swamp here. And we're just going to lead on Lava Claw Reaches. I don't really care about anything they do on turn 1. I guess, that was actually a misplay. That was a misplay. I should have Thoughtseize them because they could have had Ancestral. Okay, they don't. That's good. So not punished, but still a misplay. We will Thoughtseize now. Well, Lava Coil is pretty annoying against Rekindling Phoenix. Seasoned Pyromancer is just pretty good, but I think I'm going to go with the careful consideration here. I guess maybe Seasoned Pyromancer is the right pick. This is really good eventually, but I think I'm going to go with the careful consideration. Then we'll get this down and pass the turn. So we're going to play Pia and Kiran Nalaar before we play Rekindling Phoenix because we're hoping that we can get the Lava Coil out of their hand on something else. Bloodstained Mire. So that was their draw for the turn. Pretty happy to see that. They already have enough lands. We'll grab our dual land. Or our tri-land. It gives us white too, which is nice. Karizev. Okay, I think I'll just jam that here. And they'll probably Lava Coil it. They could also Collective Defiance it, but they don't know that we have Rekindling Phoenix. So they don't know that the Exile clause of Lava Coil is relevant. Okay, just fetching a basic mountain. They don't have another duel to get. They play Island and Lava Coil. Nice. Okay, very happy to see that. I still think I'm going to play... This is actually really close between these two. They both hit for 4. But Pia and Kiran Nalaar is much better against things like Jace. So I think I'm going to go with that first. They can fetch up a Plains with a Prismatic Vista, so if they have Deafening Clarion again, they could sweep our board. But there's only one unknown, so that's not too likely. Seasoned Pyromancer, okay. Oh, whoops. I accidentally discarded or clicked out of the Collective Defiance. We'll see if they're making tokens. Okay, so they just discard Scalding Tarn Mountain, so they have Collective Defiance, Prismatic Vista, and 3 unknowns. There's the Vista, so just Defiance. Ooh, that is a good one. So we are going to attack with everything. If they trade off these, that's okay. I want to clear up the ground so we can get in with the Lava Claw Reaches at a later point. And now we can take out all of their hand except for 1 card. And they don't even get to choose the card, so it could just be a land or something. Okay, so they discarded 3 spells there. A Braid and Burst Lightning are both pretty bad, although I guess they could use them both to kill the Rekindling Phoenix, and now this could be hard for them to deal with. So, Oh man, them cracking this is scary. I really hope their last card isn't a 5-drop. They can make seasoned Pyromancer tokens, but I don't care too much about that. They could also just be hitting us for 4, I guess, but that seems a little weird. Okay, just making some tokens, sure. Murder's Rider, that's a good draw. Doesn't do much on this board, but it's good against like the scariest things that they could do. So we'll hit for 2. They're at 14, so we don't quite have them on a 2-turn clock. But we have a decent amount of burn and stuff like Croxa that could make it into a 2-turn clock. And okay, there's Ancestral. That is not too good for them. Yeah, that's the problem with that card. No attacks, makes sense. Burst Lightning, beautiful. So we can hit for 6 in the air. They can't do anything about that. And we're just going to fire off Burst Lightning for 4 at their face at the end of their turn. Almost definitely. Nice Ancestral, bro. They have a lot of cheap burn spells. Okay, nice. They have a lot of burn, which means cards like Dark Confidant are a lot worse. So that's something to be aware of. I don't think we're cutting it still, but that is a little annoying. I'm actually a bit surprised they left in so much of that stuff because they didn't see much that it was good against in game 1. Do we want to make any changes? Rabblemaster is a bit of a liability against all that cheap burn. I actually think that's probably worse than Pia and Kieran, or Pia and Alar. Plus, also now we have Pia and Kieran, so that's sort of fun. Yeah, I think that's the only change we'll make, and we'll run it back like this. Okay, this hand is acceptable. It's not exciting. We don't have any plays that like plays to the board in the first couple turns, but I don't think we can really ship a hand like this. And we have like I think in this matchup, maybe just in all matchups, but definitely in this one, it's really good to have either our Mind Twist card or Rakdos' Return. So that's pretty sweet. They're on a mold of 5 too. Hopefully they don't have an Ancestral Vision. That's like the main way that they could recover from the card disadvantage of the mulligans. Burst Lightning is a little sketchy. I mean, it won us last. Well, I guess they conceded without seeing it. It would have been good last game, but it's not great in general. Well, we have a mono basic mana base here, but we have the right basics. We don't have white mana, but we also don't have any white cards. Well, I spoke too soon. No blue mana yet from our opponent. Okay, this is all pretty good so far. Chandra's a great draw. So we'll play Mountain and pass. Not interested in Rakdos' Return for 1 here. I'm hoping to get at least 3 with this. Fumarole. Okay, so this is our time to resolve Chandra before they have blue mana available. So I will cast this. And we'll just hit them for 2. And now next turn we can add mana to cast Big Chandra. Okay, exiling a mountain. It's good to get rid of that. So they could just animate Wandering Fumarole here. They could also play Glorybringer, but neither of those would kill the Chandra. 4 mana. What is this? Faith's Fetters. Okay. That's pretty good, actually. That's annoying. So this turn we're going to... Honestly, hopefully we just draw a land and we can just Rakdos' Return to take out their hand. Fetching a mountain there. That is very surprising. Now they don't have double blue for animating Fumarole. Land? Nice. So we can just fetch up basic mountain here, or basic swamp, and then take out their hand, and that honestly could draw a concession. Like, now we're just very ahead. We have a whole hand with, like, multiple threats that are hard to deal with, and they have nothing, and they don't even have double blue. Okay, really nice to get rid of a Kikijiki there. And then we don't have, it's a little, our mana is awkward. The fact that we can't play either of these next turn, but we can play them both the turn after is unfortunate, but it's okay. Okay, Mountain, sure, we'll just jam Chandra then. And plus, GG's, man. Looks like our opponent has acknowledged that this is a situation they can't come back from. Hit for 6. This card is really good. I've barely ever played with it, but just coming in and immediately hitting for 6 on the first turn is a very fast clock. And then these are also good abilities. Forked Bolt. That is not going to do it. Lightning Helix. Okay. I mean, well, now we can't really play. Oh, well, actually, we just can't play. Oh, now we can play Johnny. All right, so I think I am going to get the Johnny down here. We could also go for some, like, I was worried that if they top deck a blue source, they could play Wandering Fumarole, or use Wandering Fumarole to kill this. But we have Burst Lightning, which doesn't actually kill the Fumarole, but it does mean that they would have to make it a 1/4. And then we can just, like, keep it tapped down with the Johnny and not need to worry about that anymore. So we'll just pass and end of turn cycle the Triome. Well, there's the blue source, so this Burst Light, we actually can't cycle the Triome now. So they attack. We'll Burst Lightning, they'll switch its power back. But then we'll keep the Wandering Fumarole tapped down, and we'll have this Johnny that will eventually blow up their lands. Nice. All right. So, interesting first match. A lot of back and forth. It feels good to beat a blue deck. This deck actually is much better at grinding than I was expecting. So, happy to see that. And happy to overcome the loss to Kiki Jiki in game 1. So, great start, and I'll see you in round 2. Hello, everyone. Here we are against Sputnik. That's a cool name. And we're on the play. A 4, so not quite as dominating of a role as our last one, but I'll take it. And this hand is amazing. Easy, easy keep. Our mana is great. We have double red, double black, single white, which is just what we need. We don't have access to Inquisition on turn 1, which is a little bit sad, but not too bad. We can just get the Shambling Vent down and then Inquisition them next turn. The only way this will be really unfortunate is if they have, like, a 1-mana ramp dude that is an important card, or Ancestral, I guess. He said hi. Howdy. Basic Forest. Oh man, do they have the ramp? No. That's so unfortunate. We would have really liked to have Inquisitioned that. Well, hopefully our Inquisition doesn't miss now. I don't think it will, though. Phyrexian Arena, that's a good one. Whoa, a lot of things there. Okay, Sword of War and Peace, we can kill the... Wait, they have no lands? Oh my gosh. There was a greedy, greedy keep. I would have mulliganed this in a heartbeat. Don't really care about Creator's Claws. Don't really care about Sword. I guess Creator's Claws could be annoying if we're paying a lot of life. 3 of our cards pay life, but I think we should still take the Mind Shatter. Although, oh, their hand is just so bad. Yeah, I'm going to take the Mind Shatter over Creator's Claws. And then we'll just get the Dragon Skull Summit into play to have maximum flexibility and pass the turn. Man, that is a huge difference between Inquisition on 1 and 2, though. If, like, taking the Search for Tomorrow is much stronger than taking anything else. No land, okay, that's good for us. Although, this could be a not particularly interesting game. So I'm just going to get the Phyrexian Arena down. And also, I was talking about how we have a lot of ways to pay life, which is true, but we also have life gain in the form of 2/2/3s with lifelink, so that's something. It'll be interesting to see which land they get here. Probably mountain, but I could imagine forest. Null-Eyed Ferox is a good one to know about. If we make them discard this with a Rakdos' return, they can just, like, put it into play. Oh, they got a swamp. I'm surprised by that. No play. That's good for us, so we can just start drawing extra cards immediately. Mind Shatter. Ooh. Well, that's sort of funny. I mean, we could Mind Shatter them, They might not discard the Nullhide Ferox, but they also could, and if they did, that would be pretty annoying. I kind of think I'm just going to pass here. Hopefully... Oh, man. The Ferox is actually super good. Yeah, we'll just pass. We can kill this by paying 5 mana and using Murder's Rider. Okay, Forest. They still don't have a play there. They might just go Sword of War and Peace. Maelstrom Pulse. Okay, that's pretty good. But we still have another thing that can draw us cards every turn with the Ob Nixilis, and this one is also, like, a win condition, so pretty happy about this. Like, I still think we're very ahead. I'll save that to fetch the Triome because I would like to double white to animate the Shambling Vent. So they're just like classic Jund. We're sort of similar, but I think we should be pretty favored here. We have Planeswalkers and removal spells, and they have like creatures, and Planeswalkers and removal spells win that battle every time. Okay, there's their mountain, so they could just play on Nullhide Ferox here, but we can kill it, so... I really want this to be out of their hands so we can Mind Shadow them without having to worry about them getting a beefy boy. This card is cool. I like this design. Okay, they do play the Ferox, so... We could just take out their hand with a Mind Shatter, but I think I would rather just take it out with Ob Nixilis here. So we'll do that. And then I will just fetch this up now instead of playing the Lava Claw Reaches. I also just don't want to draw that card, so this just takes one bad draw out of our deck. Okay, that was maybe dumb. I did forget that they had the Creator's Clause. We probably should have used Swift End instead, but I still think we're in an absolutely dominant position. Now we take out their entire hand, and honestly, we could probably just win with these 2 man lands from that point, but we also have, like, other removal spells for future threats. So, yeah, we take out all 5 cards if we do this. Perfect. As it turns out, we should have taken the Creator's Clause. Creator's Clause was better than Mind Shadow would have been. Nissa. And then some cards we knew about. 2 swords. Wow. That's a little bit weird. Especially Sword of War and Peace. I mean, Sword of Fire and Ice is better, but... Birds of Paradise. Not too afraid of that. In fact, it's actually sort of good. But yeah, that's actually actively very good for us, because now in their draw step, we can kill this to make a zombie and make them discard their card. And then we'll have a nice ground force that's also gaining life. Okay, they concede. So, pretty smooth game there. They really should have mulliganed. I mean, you can't really keep a one-lander like that. So, not too much of a game, but we got the result we wanted in the end. And hopefully, game 2 is a little more competitive, but with the same ending. So, Avalanche Riders could be good against a greedy mana base since they're 3 colors. Rekindling Phoenix could be good. I don't think we want Storm's Wrath. Is there anything that's bad? Rabble Master, it seems like this get match won't really be about that. They're going to have, like, creatures on the ground a lot of the time. So I think we could cut that and bring in... Phoenix versus Avalanche Riders. I think I'm going to go with Avalanche Riders. This would be better if we were on the play, but even on the draw, I think it's still decent. And Kai's Guile could be bad, but it could be good too. Yeah, I think we'll run it like this. So let's take note of if we would prefer Avalanche Riders to be Rekindling Phoenix if we draw it. Okay, great hand. We have, again, all our colors. I guess we don't have double red for the P yet, but we'll get there. We'll see if they have a turn 1 accelerant. Hopefully they don't. Okay, good. And we're going to get the Lava Claw Reaches down this turn, so we have the option of playing the Pyromancer next turn if we want to. Ooh. I'm still just going to do this. We're going to go turn 2, Shambling Vent plus Thoughtseize, and then turn 3, Phyrexian Arena. Forest, hopefully no play again. Okay, Llanowar Elves, I'm fine with that. We can probably Kaya's Guile to get rid of that. Alright, what you got? Thoughtseize. We could also play the Pyromancer, but I think it's better to do this and just make sure they don't make a backbreaking play this turn. Okay, well, yeah, it's got to just be Nissa here. It completely negates the ability of Kaya's Guile to be a good card. We don't really care about Doomblade or Creator's Claws, and they're a long way away from Vraska, so we'll take the Nissa. Get the Shambling Vent into play and pass the turn. There's the mountain, and then they pass, or maybe hit for 1. So now the question is if we want to just run out the Pyromancer and have it immediately get Doombladed, or if we just want to take out their Elf. I don't, like, from their hand, it doesn't matter, but I think it is still worth it to take out the Elf here. So I will play land, pass back, and then in their upkeep, use Kaya's Guile to make them sacrifice, and we'll make a 1/1. So each opponent sacrifices a creature. Create a 1/1 flyer. Perfect. And then next turn we can play Pia and Kira Nalaar, which is not... I guess... It's possible we should have played the Phyrexian... Yeah, we might have wanted to play the Arena that turn. I do like stunting their mana a little bit, but we probably should have played the Arena and waited 1 turn. Okay, there's a swamp, so they have these 3 and 1 unknown. If they were just Creator's Clawsing this, that's totally fine. Eternal Witness. Okay, that's pretty good. That's actually quite good. So we need to establish a good board presence now before they can get their Vraska down. So we're going to play Pia and Kira Nalaar almost definitely this turn. I guess best case scenario would be we draw Chandra, and we can go Chandra plus to add 2 mana, and then play Dismissive Pyromancer. Okay, so they get back the Nissa, sure. Yeah, I think I am just going to get the Pia down. So we hit for 1 and pass the turn. And now we're pretty well set up to deal with any Planeswalkers they play. They might use their removal spells on our board before casting their Planeswalkers, but that's still fine. Their removal spells don't match up very well with our threats at all. They could go like Doomblade, Creator's Claws, and we still have 2 flyers. Alright, opponent plays Huntmaster. Okay, that's pretty good. We can... actually, it's not too good. We can kill it with one of the Thopters. Ooh, that is good. They missed their land drop, so I'm going to take 1 turn off. I'm going to do that next turn, I think. And this turn, we'll just go attack you for 3 in the air, shoot your Huntmaster with one of the Thopters. Whoops. And then play Dismissive Pyromancer, which they'll probably kill, but that's okay. Actually, it's probably better for us if they kill this than the Pia. So, goodbye. Sorry, Thopter, but you did good work. And then play the Pyromancer and pass. If they attack with both, we could trade off. Honestly, it's probably a good idea to do that with the Phyrexian Arena in hand. I think we're winning the long game, and we just want to make sure we don't like randomly lose to burn or whatever. But we'll see what they do. I like their deck actually. I mean, I think they shouldn't have kept their hands in game one, but this is cool. Like I like Jund in constructed, and it's also cool if you can make a working cube. Okay, so they are just going to combat. Hmm. I think I'm gonna trade off the dismissive pyromancer with the eternal witness. I just want to get this into the graveyard so they can't recur it. Or actually, no, we'll trade with the wolf. Yeah. So we block there. We're doing this because I think they're not in colors that could have access to like blink very easily. So I'm more afraid of them like returning from their graveyard to play than them blinking this while it's in play. And as a 2/1, it's easier for us to kill that with something like a spirit. Sword of body and mind. Okay. Man, that's the third sword that we've seen. So now we can take out their entire hand. And we really don't want them to hit us with a sword. But with no cards, I don't think that's very likely if we leave back any blockers. Bye-bye hand. So we want to leave back 2 blockers just in case they top deck a removal spell. So, and this gives protection from blue and green, so it doesn't impact any of our creatures. We'll just hit for 2 and then leave back both of our blockers. So there, if they attack, we'll just chump block with a spirit token. I guess if we milled 10, that actually could help us because it could give us Kroxa, but still not going to do that. Can we just win this turn? So we could go animate the Lava Claw Reaches, pump it 3 times so it deals 5, 6, 7, 8. We could do a lot of damage, but I don't think we're going to do that yet. So what we're going to do is play Phyrexian Arena and then attack with just the Pia again. But then our hope is that we can block with a Raging Ravine and then tap the Raging Ravine to pump its own power so it becomes a 3/2 and trades with the Eternal Witness. Raging Ravine or Lava Claw Reaches is better than Eternal Witness, but we just want to make sure they don't have creatures in the battlefield when they have the sword. Hopefully we can draw Kolaghan's Command. Another sword, jeez. Okay. I really don't get why they're playing so many swords. I mean, I guess it's really good with stuff like Nissa, but who knows. Okay, so they don't go for the attack. We draw an extra card. Abbott is a pretty nice one. Ooh, that is a really good one, too. I'm going to lead on Abbott. We'll see what we hit. Okay, sure. Get the Swamp down, and then we'll play the Avalanche Riders, which will blow up. I think just the Mountain. They're going to have... actually, no, the double green could be valuable. I'll hit the Tomb. And now I guess we just hit for only 1. That's not super exciting, but it's fine. Oh, wait. That was a terrible attack. What am I doing? I totally forgot that they were about to get protection from red, so none of these can block. So we definitely wanted to leave back this Thopter. I don't think that'll end up costing us, but it's not great. So they do this, hit us for 6. We mill 10. Hopefully they give us a Kroxa. Although if they attack, they probably just die on the backswing. Yeah, wait, that's... I think they just die. They do get to make a wolf. Actually, yeah. Who knows? We could actually be in a bad situation here. I think we're still ahead, but it was a foolish attack with the Thopter. If we left back the Thopter, we would be very ahead. Okay, come on, Kroxa. Bummer. Oh, not bummer. There it is. Okay. So I think we're gonna not. Well, we'll draw a card first, but I think we're not using the not paying for the Avalanche Riders. Triumph was bad. Yeah, definitely not paying for this. Mind Shatter. Well, we can Mind Shatter both of their cards and then play Kroxa, which would make sure we can hit them for 3. I think we're gonna attack with the Abbot. Gee, I guess we'll Mind Shatter them first. So now this triggers Prowess, so they are sort of forced into blocking with the Wolf. And then if they draw a removal spell off the top, then we're in pretty bad shape. But they have to top deck that. They have no cards. And this Kroxa will make pretty quick work of them. I don't think it matters what we exile. Oh, we have Chandra that can flashback spells. So we don't want to flashback spells like that. But I'll just get rid of some of these creatures and planeswalkers. Oh, wait. We also have Kolagun's Command. So we don't want to get rid of creatures. Alright. Oh, well, yeah, we probably should have left the Avalanche Riders, but that's fine. So we get the Kroxa into play. And I think I'm going to play the Triome rather than Cycle because that gives us the ability to animate Shambling Vent. So they go down to 6. We'll play the Triome. We'll attack, which is just trading these off. Man, we would have been in very good shape if they hadn't just gotten a hit in with this. So they block there. That's fine. Now, please don't draw a removal spell. If they do, then we just die because we draw 2 cards with the Phyrexian Arena. But they have to top deck it exactly this turn. And if they don't draw it this turn, then we can kill them. I would say so far, the MVP of these games have been the Rakdos' Return and Mind Shatter. I mean, that Mind Shatter was only okay. But overall, like the Rakdos' Return earlier was amazing. And those cards have just been phenomenal all around. Okay, no removal spell before combat, which is a really good sign that they didn't top deck one. They do attack. It's a very good thing they don't have trample. So do they have a removal spell for the Kroxa, or do they have like a chump blocker? Okay, yeah. So that should be game because we can animate the Raging Ravine. Or I keep on saying that, the Lava Claw Reaches. I think this Pluto Delta actually doesn't have anything it can fetch now. Because we only have 5 swamps, but that's okay. Alright, so we draw a card, down to 6 life. Sure. Land. Animate. And yeah, alright, there we go. So, 2-0, good start. Their deck was cool, but our decks were very similar, but we just had like slightly better removal and then these discard spells that really just put it over the top. We were also able to prevent them from getting traction with their planeswalkers, which was pretty important. They definitely could have snowballed if they had gotten like a Nissa down early, but luckily we were able to Thoughtseize it. Actually, the swords did play out pretty well there. At least Sword of War and Peace is pretty questionable, but these 2 swords I can get behind, including. So, yeah, there we go. On to the finals. Let's see if we can pick up that trophy. Alright, here we are for round 3 against Pixel Mix. We're on the draw with a 3. Pretty weak roll, but good hand. Having the Triome in the opener is great. And then we have removal into Rabble Master. And then, I mean, having both of these discard things is a little bit redundant, but it does mean we'll be able to get them through a counterspell or something, so I think it should be fine. Hopefully they play something like a Devoted... Oh. Alright, so they're playing a blue deck. Play something we want to roast. Dark Confidant. Bitter Blossom. Ooh. Okay, that's bad. We don't have any answers to Bitter Blossom in our entire 75, I think, or, main deck and sideboard. Sylvan Caryatid, sure. So we're just gonna... I think I would rather get down the Phyrexian Arena, actually, rather than Rabble Master. Rabble Master is just not going to be great against the Bitter Blossom. So Well, I guess what we'll need is we need to find an extinction event to deal with all these tokens eventually. Holy moly, they have a lot of colors over there. So we take one. 5 mana. What is Teferi? Ooh, man, this is bad. This is very bad. Turn 2 Glitter Blossom into turn 4 Teferi is very strong. So we draw a card. I'm pretty surprised they didn't tuck this. So I'm going to start with an Inquisition. Night's Whisper, Mindstone, Hypnotic Spectre. I think I'm going to take the Hypnotic Spectre. We don't have an answer to it right now. And these other cards I don't care too much about. So we'll take that, play Mountain, play Rabblemaster, but we're very, very far behind. Our opponents, I don't know if their deck is amazing or this draw was amazing, but either way, like, the game that they played right now would be very hard for almost any deck to beat. They'll probably trade this off with a Fairy Rogue. So, if they plus the Fairy again, we're in bad shape. Hopefully they tuck the Rabblemaster, and then we can Rakdos' Return to kill the Teferi and hit their hand. If they draw a land and can go Vraska, then that's very bad. Okay. Oh, please don't draw it. That's pretty ridiculous to have Teferi. Oh, man. Yeah, Vraska now. Yeah, I think we're just dead. Because they can minus to kill our Rabblemaster. They can even kill our Phyrexian Arena. But they definitely should kill the Rabblemaster here, and they will. Yeah. Well, I think we're pretty close to concession territory for this one. We draw our cards. Okay, well, I mean, I guess we'll just Rakdos' Return to kill this Vraska. They still have the Teferi, but if we can find a Murderous Rider, it's possible. This does also take out their entire hand. I mean, they'll draw a bunch more cards pretty quickly, but it's something. So if we draw exactly Murderous Rider in the next 2 turns, we have a chance. So they had Hissing Quagmire was their other card. Oh no, what is this? Sorin? Holy cow, this deck is ridiculous. So now they gain a bunch of life. Murderous Rider. Come on, Murderous Rider. Our life total is also getting... Okay, yeah, I think they got us here. They can hit us for 6 in the air. I mean, we can play... I guess I won't concede quite yet, but it's really hard to imagine a way that we can beat both of these Planeswalkers and the Bitter Blossom. Honestly, any 2 of those might be too much already. If they have Counterspell, then they definitely got us. Condescend. All right. Well, our opponent's deck was ridiculously good that game. I really hope it doesn't play out like that again. They're just playing like 4-color mid-range with like great mana, tons of Planeswalkers, and like other cards that are hard for us to deal with. Not feeling too optimistic about this one, so we'll cut the Roast for sure. That looked quite bad. Storm's Wrath, Hero of Oxid Ridge. Oh, we definitely want the Avalanche Riders. Burst Lightning seems okay. It's good against Hypnotic Spectre. Kaya's Guile seems quite bad. I think Hero of Oxid Ridge is worth playing here. Extinction Event is not great. I mean, it's good against their tokens, but that's not really the fight we want to be having. Do we want any more of these, like, sort of aggressive creatures? I think we're gonna run it like this. Oh wait, we play one more card. So I think I'm gonna put in Karizev just to pressure their life total a bit. We could also play Embrace Shieldbreaker because we did see Mind Stone, but that's it. So I don't think that's quite enough. So yep, we'll submit this, and I don't know, man. Hopefully they don't have that draw again. That seems hard for us to beat. I mean, we'll keep it. We can't beat them having the draw they had that game, but Phyrexian Arena could be good if they have a little bit slower of a draw or they stumble with their colored mana situation. Basic Forest, okay. I'm actually just going to play the Abbot. We're not going to be able to use this ability at all, but just getting a Prowess dude down and then just like triggering Prowess a couple times is nice. Oh, we exiled Croxa? That's unfortunate. Rampant Growth, okay. That's pretty good. They're getting an island, I bet. Yep. So, Dragon Skull Summit. That gives us double red, so that's fine. We'll just play land and arena. Boom. Take 3. This hand would have matched up pretty well against Bitter Blossom. I'm a little bit sad that they didn't have that on turn 2. There's a Scalding Tarn, okay. I wish we had a little bit more burn. I think that's probably our best way to win. What could this be? Mindstone. Okay, that is a good thing for us to Kolaghan's Command into Kodama's Reach. Holy moly, they have a lot of mana ramp. So we're just going to take this turn to Kolaghan's Command, destroy this, and make them discard. And they'll probably just discard the extra land they get with Kodama's Reach, so the discard isn't amazing, but it does set us up for a better Rakdos' return the following turn. And also, I mean, actually, we could even just shock them. Is that too aggressive? Ooh, Rabble Master. Maybe that's better. Yeah, I think getting Rabble Master down actually is better. This just pressures Planeswalkers very nicely, and most of the top end that we've seen so far is Planeswalkers. I love our opponent's deck. I mean, I don't love playing against it because we're going to lose to it, but like, this is the best thing you can do in Modern Cube. Like the green, ramp, and fixing, and then just like the best bombs of all the other colors. Okay, Jace is definitely not a problem. So we can take this turn to Kolaghan's Command, blow up your Mind Stone, and kill your Jace. Ooh. Never mind, we'll go for Obnixilis. They might have a counterspell, but they're gonna they're gonna get their counter value either way. We can't play Kolaghan's Command around Condescend, so hopefully they don't have Condescend. Worst case scenario, we still at least get our Prowess trigger and get a nice attack step in. Ooh, great. Okay, so kill your Jace, and then attack with everything. It could have, like, Restoration Angel, but I'm not playing around anything like that right now. Wait, this is almost just lethal. Shark Typhoon. Okay, so that can make a shark that trades with the Rabble Master. We hit for 5. But then we're still untapping with Arena and Obnixilis and a bunch of creatures and this good hand. Okay, there's a Jace the Mind Sculptor. Our opponent's deck is ridiculous. I think we are going to win this game, but still pretty ridiculous. They could set up a Miracle Terminus. I mean, I don't know. We haven't seen Terminus or Instant Speed card draw, but it is possible. But I think a big Mind Shatter and or Rakdos' return will hopefully slam the door on this one. We're going to get to draw 3 cards, presumably, so that's pretty sweet. I would love to draw a Thoughtseize. I think if we draw Thoughtseize, then we can definitely win. Clear the path for our Rakdos' return, which would be lethal. Okay, they're tapped out Sorin. Okay, now we just win. They make a dude, sure. We will draw a card. They could have Pact of Negation, I guess. So we'll draw another card. Okay, Thoughtseize. So, yeah, that makes it 6 damage because this will trigger Prowess twice. So we can Thoughtseize them. and then Kolaghan's command to kill their vampire, and then win. No pact of negation. Good to know about Hydroid Krasis. Land, Kolaghan's command. I guess doesn't really matter. Destroy target artifact, 2 damage to any target. And hit you for 6. Alright, sweet. So, we did manage to take down game 2. I still think this is going to be a very hard matchup. But they are slow. And so, if we can establish a board that can pressure their planeswalkers well and their life total, then we have a chance. So, hopefully we can recreate that in the final game of the final match. I kind of think we do need a little bit more in the way of, like, early pressure, though. So, I kind of like the idea of bringing in Pia Nalar. Rekindling Phoenix is pretty bad against Jace. So, what do we want to cut then? We could cut Kalidas or Mind Shatter, I think. I think I'll cut the Mind Shatter. Like, if they have a bunch of Planeswalkers on the board, then taking out their hand isn't really enough. Actually, no, we'll keep this. Because they could also... There's a lot of situations where they'll, like, spend their early turns ramping and then have, like, 2 big payoffs and that's their whole hand. And then Mind Shatter could be pretty good. So I think we'll cut Kalidas. Yeah, that just... It's bad against their removal spells, and they don't have that many non-token creatures. Okay, so... On to the final game. Hopefully we can take this one home. I do think if we both have a perfect draw, they win. So we need them to stumble a little bit. I mean, I guess they had a fine draw there. They had all their colors. They had good acceleration. But their planeswalkers were just not really good because they were behind on board. Just like having a turn 2 Abbott was huge. So really happy to have like a couple 2-drops like Zaryakev also to, or Kari Zev. We could even bring in the Embers Shieldbreakers, but it's just a little bit like it's so bad against Bitter Blossom. It's just a pretty weak creature. I mean, they have had Mind Stone both games, but that's only 1 card. So I think I would rather all these other cards. Alright, here we are for round 3. Come on, Pixel Mix. Don't have that draw again, the first one. So turn 2 Bitter Blossom, Rampant Growth, and Southern Caryatid are all pretty scary. So I would love to have a discard spell to disrupt that on turn 1. Well, this is a keep. I mean, we're really just leaning on this Dark Confidant pretty heavily, but I really hope they don't have a removal spell for this. They do have Banishing Light and Heartless Act we saw when we hit them with the Thoughtseize at the end of that game, but we'll keep. I think I'm going to lead on the Lava Claw Reaches because I could definitely imagine wanting to cycle the Triome here. Okay, yeah, that makes it even more likely. No turn 2 play, please. Okay, beautiful. So they just pass. Man, this is not really the draws we wanted to have. So we get the Bob down. Now, hopefully they don't have a removal spell for this. Just having drawn 2 lands is a little bit annoying because... Like, there's a great card to reveal from a life total perspective, but I don't think my life total is too relevant here. Ooh, they just passed. That is amazing. So we reveal yet another land. Jeez. So I'm just going to play land so we can cycle the Triome and hit for 2. If they had shocked, I would have not attacked because I would be afraid of a Shark Typhoon, but here we can do this. Also, my housemates are being quite loud outside. I hope that's not bothering you too much. Drowned Catacomb. What do they have? Do they have a Soar in here? We're representing a removal spell or something, so you definitely don't want to play anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 lands. We've seen 9 lands. Jeez. So, only 8 left in the entire 29 card deck. If they bounce the Dark Confidant, we'll just have to kill the Jace with the Lava Claw Reaches. It's not really how I want to use my mana next turn, but we can't let them untap with this. But then there's very likely to just have like a Teferi the turn after, which will probably just win. Unless we can find a Murderous Rider. I guess they could plus. If they plus, we can't kill it this turn unless we draw something that changes the calculus. Best case scenario is they brainstorm, and then we cycle the Triome and draw Rabble Master. Okay, they are bouncing that, sure. So we'll cycle here. Rakdos' Return. That was a great draw. So I'm just going to fetch to... Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 1 Swamp left in our deck. So I'll just get that going. Grab that, and then Rakdos' Return. Kill your Jace. Discard 2. That was an amazing draw. Wow. Really happy with how that shaped up. Our Dark Confidant is gone, which is sad, but that's okay. So now that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 lands. So we only have 6 lands out of 26 cards left. That is ridiculous. Discard Island, Time Warp. There's a Swamp. Don't have Teferi, please. No Teferi. Okay, Sorin is fine. That's okay. I mean, it's good. It's not good for us, but... Ooh, do we play Arena plus Dark Confidant? I think we do. We could be taking a decent amount of damage here, but I think it's still worth it to get a lot of card draw. So they can hit us for 3 in the air. Sylvan Caryatid, sure. So we might just end up using this Chandra to deal 3 damage to each creature. I think we probably will, especially if they add another creature. Bitter Blossom, okay. No attack, interesting. Okay, I'm stacking it this way because our first one is going to be low. Nice. Well, I mean, not a good draw, but nice to not take more damage. Yeah, I think we just jam Chandra. And I'm not going to fetch because I actually am pretty worried about my life total now, and there's no need to. We have infinite lands already. So we plus to make 2 3/1s and send everything at Sorin. So if they block both of the elementals, they can keep the Sorin alive. Okay, they're trading with a Bob and then just letting Sorin die. And now we're actually just very ahead because they only have 1 card. And they have a Bitter Blossom, but Chandra beats Bitter Blossom. Interesting. That's surprising to me. So they're going to let us keep bobbing. I mean, I guess they're just going to try and kill us with, like, our Dark Confidant triggers. So we might just Chandra to kill off our own Bob soon. It is nice that we have our only 6-drop in our hand. Okay, so they're going back to this, letting the Sorin die. I'm definitely okay with that exchange. They have 6 mana of, like, a million colors, so they could play, like, a Vraska or something, but Chandra can pressure Planeswalkers very well. We also could just draw a new hand and get rid of all of these lands. That looks pretty good, actually. Yep, there's the Vraska, so they can plus it to 8, and then we just Murderous Rider it. We draw our card. And now I think... Ooh, so I do want to get this Ajani down. So we're going to go minus this to kill all their stuff. 3 damage to everything. And then Swift End to kill your Vraska. And Kroxa to take out the last card in your hand. I wish we could cast the Murderous Rider, but we don't have the mana for it. Then Shambling Vent. And now next turn we can play Ajani and then 0 Chandra to discard these 4 lands that are terrible and draw 5 new cards. So I think this is pretty much wrapped up. I can't think of anything they could have to get out of it. I mean, Teferi might be their best draw. Well, Night's Whisper is a start maybe. But I think we're about to get this trophy. The turning point in this game was drawing the Rakdos' Return to kill their Jace. That was a very, very good exchange for us. Okay, so we will cast Ajani. I'm just going to kill this just to gain some life. Then we will 0 Chandra to draw a new hand. These cards are all pretty bad. And now I think we just escape Croxa. I mean, we have a lot of different good options here, but I think Croxa is the best. All right, sweet. Wow, that deck was actually very, very good. I'm a little surprised at how well it played. Um, I mean, we didn't win every single game, but we did win every single match. And it just felt like, I mean, the mana was good. It had good interaction. It had tons of threats. I mean, it had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 planeswalkers that could all really take over the game. I guess Chandra doesn't really take over the game in the same way. We actually almost never even drew this card, but um, this deck felt amazing. Like, having the option to side into a little bit more of like an aggressive deck with these creatures was nice in a few matchups. And Rakdos' return was probably the single MVP. Like, there were so many games where this killed a planeswalker and gave a lot of other value. So I think this is going to rise a lot in my pick order as I evaluate the format. But I love this draft. I had a ton of fun. It felt good to do something different. Like, I usually play either blue control decks or aggressive decks, and this was neither, but it still managed to be very powerful. So maybe that's a sign I should try to branch out a little bit more. Thank you for watching. Also, do, like I mentioned in the beginning, comment if you would rather see a lot of Modern Cube or more variety. And I mean, either way, Modern Cube is ending soon. But before it is gone, like, let me know what you'd like regarding that. And thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.